That's not how the Force works. I don't care!
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
What are you talking about?
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Yo! And welcome to Casual Rage 256, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. How you all doing? I'm sorry, we're starting a little bit later today. I was over with Star Wars Marvel Purist, or Bane of the Shills. We were hanging out and we were talking about the rise of Darth Vader. It was a lot of fun. It was like we kind of were a little bit all over the place with sort of the review of the book, but it was just awesome to talk about it because there is some good Star Wars still out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's called the Expanded Universe. It's called Real Star Wars. And, as we were talking about it too, like things kept popping into my head in regards to how different actual Star Wars is from Disney Star Wars, and that there is a massive difference between the two. But we've got a little bit to talk about. It's not going to be a longer stream because obviously starting a little bit later, 2 hours later, in fact, this would be the time that I'd normally be wrapping up. And I've been streaming for that long already. I was thinking about doing maybe a Batman Lego stream after this. That's probably not going to happen. I need to get some food and I do need to get some shit done around the house. It is my day off after all. So, how y'all doing? I'm not too sure what the chat's going to be like tonight because, again, starting so much later. We've got a little bit of Stargate to talk about. We've, of course, got the Mandalorian and Grogu box office that we're going to talk about, and the Shills and the seals that are coping hard. I did my video. I hope most of you checked it out. It's kind of funny. I'm going to try and keep to this sort of structure, and if I can integrate maybe an extra video a week or an extra 2 videos a week, I'll do that. But I'm not going to put any pressure on myself at this point in time. If I can get to at least that one video a week at this point in time, get home from work on Tuesday or something like that, make the video. It's tough keeping up with everything. But yeah, those two videos I think did pretty well considering I hadn't done videos for ages. And, I'm not a massive channel by any stretch. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Shills coping hard. I did have some of this Liam Gray stuff with Anna. And dude, you should have seen the other day. I mean, there was so much to talk about. And it wasn't just about this, but fucking I'm in a group chat with Nina and Anna. And man, I was at work and I got home and there was over 200 unread messages. It took me ages to go through and catch up on everything. But yeah, Liam, you're making us Australians look bad, buddy. You're making us Australians look bad. I don't know if I'm going to go into that because, again, I don't know a lot of details. And I just know that there's some false flagging going on from Liam. He wants to sue Anna. I don't think Anna cares about you that much to the point where she's sent people to, I don't know, destroy you. And apparently he's throwing accusations at Flash as well. And we've got a Grizzy video and we've got Seal of the Week. So we'll get through it. We'll get through it. And like I said, it's not going to be a long stream by any stretch. We'll make sure that we at least go for, I don't know. I was thinking just probably around the hour mark. But we'll see. Might go a little bit longer than that. Man, my camera looks weird. The cats knocked my camera. They were mucking around. They were chasing each other, and they always jump up behind the screen here, and fucking the cord got pulled. And now I feel like my camera looks really weird. And it might just be in a slightly different position. But anyway. All right, let's see who we've got here in the chat. How y'all doing? We got Soul Shade. How you doing? Yes, starting a little bit late. Angry Sparrow. How are you? Good evening. It's 12:05. Yeah, see, that's why I like starting 2 hours earlier because it's 10 p.m. for you then. And that's sort of okay. I still haven't seen Mango and Grok. Well, you're doing yourself a favor. This is the thing. Even when it comes out on Disney Plus or it comes out even if it's on TV, if there was nothing else to watch, I still wouldn't put it on. It is that painful to sit through. Oh, we got the great Mike Hill. Mike, I've missed you. I mean, you're always here, but I've missed your DMs. You're at the same point as me where it's like, I just don't care anymore. Went to an early screening of Masters of the Universe tonight. What'd you think? What do you think? We got Ferrafema here. No, we only just started. We will be talking about Stargate being axed. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yes, I have heard all about that. That's a crazy story, to be honest with you. And again, I just know vague details about it. In fact, I heard Steph talking about it. That's where I got all my information from. It was the first that I heard about it was, last night's or this morning's Geeks and Gamers Daily. I honestly didn't know anything about it up until then. Maybe I had heard something on the grapevine, but it is very wild what's actually going on there. I actually want to look into that more. Maybe next week, we'll see how things are going. We'll talk a little bit about, obviously, Mango and Grok and its box office next week, but maybe we'll do an EFAP of one of those videos or something, because I know that there's a big one out there. You enjoyed it? That's good. I'm interested in seeing it, that's for sure. I'm interested in seeing it, and I want to be able to talk to Tom about it, to be honest with you. Good evening, good people. Saw Mando and Grogu. AI AI, well, sorry, hold on. AI know this option is going to be unpopular, but didn't think it was terrible, not great, but not the worst ever. I understand what you're saying. When it comes to Star Wars, it's definitely not the worst Star Wars movie. I just think that this is a really bad movie. Yeah, see, thank you. I know it was, but my brain with my dyslexia, like, not that it's your fault. I fucking type typos all the time, but it fucks my head so bad. It really does. But yeah, I don't think it's the worst Disney Star Wars movie, but that's mainly because it's inoffensive to on the sense of it doesn't do damage to legacy characters really or anything like that. It's just bad in the world that it's in. It's just bad. Like I think I said this, you take it out of the Star Wars universe and it's just generally just a bad movie. Generally just a bad movie. All right, let's talk about Stargate really quickly. We will get into the Mandalorian and Grogu stuff because it's great. It really is. But let's get into Stargate really quickly. So obviously, if you haven't heard already, they have basically announced the cancellation of the new Stargate TV series for Amazon that they were basically, everybody got excited when they heard this announcement and everything. And there was the old showrunners and creators coming on, some of them to be a part of this. And there was a lot of excitement around it from the Stargate fan base, me being one of them. Now, I got to say, from the moment we heard that this thing was happening, over time, there were a couple of things that were some red flags for me. One of the people mentioned something about, shifting it or moving it to a bit more of a modern audience kind of thing that, so there was elements of that was sort of starting to creep into the conversation. And that was starting to, like I said, throw up a couple of red flags. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, the excuses of this is it's too Stargate and it's too niche. I think that that's a mistake based on the fact that all of the niche franchises out there, you could say that Star Wars is niche. You can say that Star Trek is niche. And they do all have their niche audiences. But you got to think about something for a second. With the destruction of Star Wars, with the destruction of Star Trek, the destruction of Doctor Who, the destruction of Lord of the Rings, the destruction of all of these favorite franchises out there, wouldn't you think it would be a good thing to put out a good Stargate show right now? Because you know what happens? If you're too retarded to realize this, then that's on you. But you know what happens? Is that people watch this, they like this, and then they go, hold on a second, maybe Stargate, I'll go back and I'll watch the movie. And okay, the movie, I know that there's some, I like the movie. But then going into Stargate SG-1, they might start watching it. They might start building a love for it. I want to read the Invincible comics now because of the Invincible show. I ended up reading the Lord of the Rings books more recently and the Harry Potter books, even though I saw the movies first. But the point still stands that you can gain an audience that could have probably already liked Stargate. They just never gave it a chance. That will go into this show because they've got nothing else to watch right now. They don't have their Star Wars. They don't have their Star Trek. So to cancel it because it's too niche or it's too Stargate like. Now I've just saved a couple of these things. I wasn't organized this week, guys. And I got to say, even the Bane of the Shills stream, it crept up on me. Like I didn't, I sort of half forgot. And then when he reminded me during the week, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I don't even remember if I mentioned it last week at the end of the show. G'day, Russell. How you doing? The show is basically the comics. If you've seen the show, you've read the comics. Are you talking about Invincible? I've heard different. And especially now with this season, if that's what you're talking about. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. The new Stargate TV series has been axed by Amazon. The show was first announced with a series order in November 2025. This is the thing, though, too, is it's only been, 6 months? We get an announcement and a cancellation within that 6-month period. And hailed from showrunner Martin Giro, who was the writer of Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. Both of those series are actually really good. Sources say Amazon execs, were concerned that Giro's take on the series would not have broad appeal beyond the franchise's already dedicated fan base. Well, again, this is where I think you might be wrong. You might be right. You might be right. But that fan base is still pretty loyal and still pretty big. I think this is a mistake to axe it. The hype and everything behind it. Now, look, I'm going to say, like, even Gary, right? Everybody sort of started asking him. I know Shad was a big one that was sort of saying, you should watch it. You should watch it. You should watch it. And I know that he started watching it, and it's a bit of especially that first season, it's a bit of a build. You got to get into it. It's a slow build. But by the end of that first season, it's like, okay, this is pretty good. And then it sort of evolves from there and it gets better and better and better. There are some lulls in there. There's definitely a lot of filler episodes, but even from some of the filler episodes, you get some good, connections to other episodes and stuff like that. But I think that, again, with everything that we have lost over the last decade or so, I feel like that you should have done this because there's a possibility that you could have bought in and got in a newer audience from the audiences that some of the other franchises have lost. Not the new modern audience. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you'll bring in the audiences that, like I said, probably like stuff like this, like your Star Wars, like your Star Treks, like your Doctor Who's, like those kinds of things, and never really gave this a chance. But now that they've got nothing else and there's a new series, well, why not? Let's give this a chance. And then they end up falling in love with it. Not all of them will. You might only get 50% of them, but you've still increased your fan base. I think it's a mistake. There was this. I'm going to watch this. I saw this pop up, and I think this is just going to give us context in regards to some of the actual details. I hope. I wish I could get Nina. I know Nina was talking about it a lot, and I DM with Nina and Anna and stuff pretty much on the daily. Nina is really fighting for this thing and really wants this thing, and she's got connections to a few people that are more deeply involved with it. But I better share my screen again. before I play this, actually, let me say this. I kind of do, where is it? Agree with Gary here a little bit. I kind of agree with Gary here a little bit. He says, sucks for the Stargate fans, but it may be for the best. I can't disagree with that. It might be a blessing in disguise that this thing isn't being made. Look at what's happened to every single other franchise that they've decided to tell a continuation of the story in modern times. Dude, I just saw He-Man and I loved it. I grew up watching He-Man. I did too. And my 5th birthday was He-Man. Mine was Cowboys and Indians. Themed in 1985. So you're 1980s, baby. I'm 83. I had a great time. Well, that's good. I'm liking what I'm hearing about He-Man so far. I'm liking it more so for Tom's sake. Don't tell Tom I said that. I haven't been able to get into Atlantis. Is that I love Universe so far. Doesn't Atlantis happen before Universe? And the OG is great, of course. Have you tried watching Atlantis? You just can't get into it? Is that what you're saying? Or you just haven't watched it yet? G'day, Nitrum. How you doing? Happy Pride Month to you too, idiot. So, like I said, I with what they sort of started saying, making this a bit more of a modern thing, blah blah blah. Now I understand in the sense that, like, okay, now we live in such a technologically advanced age from the 90s, from when Stargate SG-1 sort of came out. And, you know, you've got those episodes going into the real world, like, you know, Tilk getting his apartment and that whole thing going down. Not great, but it happened. You've also got the episode where Tilk gets infected by the bug and the nest is sort of half growing inside of him or whatever. And he goes, you know, leaves the base and he's going through thing. You've got the episodes where they travel back to the 60s, which is obviously a little bit different because it's more of a timepiece than in present day, obviously. But I understand the premise that, yes, like iPhones and, you know, smartphones and things like that, the computers and everything that we've got now, what would that look like in the SGC now? Yes, great. You've got to adapt that. You've got to do that, and you've got to be able to do it well, and you've got to be able to tell the story well, right? But if you're doing it and making it for modern audiences in the sense that we've heard over the last decade, well, then no. That's where I think that there's a possibility that, yes, maybe this is for the best. Maybe it is better that they just leave Stargate alone. Because everything that we've got with Stargate so far, whether it be Atlantis, whether it be Universe, whether it be SG-1, the movies that are out there, yeah, like especially some of those movies, the effects and stuff like that aren't necessarily great. Sometimes it does feel like they're actually filming it on an iPhone, you know. But that's just a product of its time in regards to the effects. It doesn't affect the story elements, though. You know, and you even get that in SG-1. I mean, in one of my videos, I mentioned that there's a moment where Teal'c and Jack, I can't remember what planet they're on, but they're like, I think it's the planet that Thor, like, you know, Thor's hammer and everything. They're like Vikings. Because he throws his axe and it hits one of the Jafar and the Jafar goes down and then he walks over and they have a little quick conversation and then they leave. But the guy doesn't even walk over and go and grab his axe out of the Jafar. It's his only weapon. He just kills this guy and then, oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Let's go. Doesn't go and grab it out. And it doesn't cut before they start walking away as well. So you can't justify it by saying, oh, well, we just didn't see him pull it out. No, he was literally walking away. There are moments like that in Stargate where, like, even my mate who's only watching it for the first time is like, why wouldn't they just do this? Or why would they just do that? Or something along those lines. There are little things like that, but the story is so good that, yeah, okay, it has its faults, but you can let it go. You just can. But if it was constant and if it was like, nobody would enjoy that. That's like what Mandalorian and Grogu is. Let's watch this. See if we can get some context here.
The new Stargate series from Amazon is cancelled. Yep, that is the news we bring to you today. As reported by Variety and confirmed by Deadline, the new Stargate series for Amazon Prime Video has been cancelled, and the streaming giant is not moving forward with it. Yes, this is extremely disappointing.
I want to know where they got up to in the development process of what they were doing or what they were trying to do. Because obviously there was enough there for the CEO or whoever it was to come out and say that it feels too Stargate and it's too niche.
News for Stargate fans. The new series was to be helmed by former Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis writer Martin Gero, but it also brought back creatives Brad Wright and Joseph Malozzi to the writer's room. This new series was first announced in November 2025. Now, just over 6 months on, Amazon have pulled the plug. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, Amazon execs were concerned that Gero's take on the series would not have a broad appeal beyond the franchise's already dedicated fanbase. Although Gero's series will not proceed, Amazon is still exploring new ways to further the franchise. This means we could still see new Stargate, but with someone else leading the show.
That's not good, though. That's not a good thing. If they're removing some of the OG creators and, we'll move forward, but we'll just bring in people that don't give a fuck, well, then prepare for failure.
Based on the wording,
you want to make it even more niche? Then do that.
It would likely be someone not as familiar with the franchise.
Which is ridiculous.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
No, yeah, okay. I really want to talk to Nina. And I saw this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Stargate SG-1 actor Michael Shanks notes the negative fan reaction to Amazon canceling the new Stargate show for being too much like Stargate. That's crazy. He says fans be spitting truths today. And here I'm here for it, Jesus. Yeah, where is Nina? I don't know. She's probably asleep. I don't know what time it would be for her. Is Amazon making a mistake? And this is where, in regards to that question, the answer is yes, and the answer is no. I just don't trust them anymore. I don't trust, yeah, okay, cool. You've got some OG creators coming in to do it. That was a positive. That was a big green flag. There were plenty of red flags as the time went on over the last 6 months. But I still feel like if they had have done something really good with this, despite that it's too much like Stargate, what are we talking about? It is Stargate. It should feel like Stargate. And then that scares me in regards to, okay, so if they aren't necessarily just shelving the franchise completely, then what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And that's where, again, I've got to say that I kind of agree with Gary here. Maybe it is better that they just leave it alone. I still haven't completed watching everything. I've still got a little bit of Atlantis left to go, and I've still got all of Universe still to watch. But some of the clips and some of the things that I've seen from both of those series, from at least the parts of the Atlantis stuff I haven't seen, and some of the clips that I've seen from Atlantis and stuff like that, it seems really good. Really heartwarming moments. So again, we'll see how all of this sort of plays out. We'll see what happens, because there's a lot of people tweeting now and saying, "Oh, what are we doing? I want this to happen. I want this to happen." There's not a small audience for this. There's actually quite a decent large audience for this. All of that kind of thing. I don't know whether or not that's a good thing to be doing that. That's why I haven't said anything yet. I'm still getting my head around, because, okay, we ask Amazon now, with all of this that's been done, we ask Amazon now, do it. And then they decide to do it, but they remove the people that we were wanting to do it. Those original creators. And then they get in a Ryan Johnson to come in and completely subvert your expectations and destroy the franchise. So we got to be careful now with what we're actually asking for, because based on the decision, okay, I was down based on what the information was that we had. I was down to see what they gave us with the original creators there, some of the original writers and people actually there in place, doing a new Stargate show and actually giving us something decent. I was down for it. But now that they've cancelled it, and there were some red flags during, like I said, the last 6 months, but now that they've cancelled it, be careful what you're asking for, Stargate fans. Honestly. Because you can try and get it trending. You can try and get all of this stuff going. You can try and get this word of mouth out there. You can try and build some new fans and actually get some people on board and liking it and talking about it and stuff like that. And then they go ahead and do it, and then they destroy it. And if that happens with something like this, then I will blame the fans on that one. You asked for it. You knew the information, you asked for it, and they gave it to you. Now, if they decide to then go ahead with it based on what's trending and everything, and they still keep those people in play, I don't know. We've had people that have been fans of things or been creating, have been a good, been a good director in the past. I mean, for fuck's sake, Jon Favreau did do fucking Iron Man after all. I don't know. I wanted this, yes. But I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure that it was even a good idea to begin with. In the current state that we're in, within the entertainment sphere, within the entertainment bubble, and its connection to Amazon, I don't know anymore. So anyway, be careful what you ask for, Stargate fans. Be careful what you ask for. And yeah, the fans are passionate. The fans are always going to speak up, especially the ones that were really excited for it. Like, dude, there was a spike in like it being talked about, like, people watching it on YouTube and stuff like that when the announcement came. When the announcement came, there was some hype. There was. And again, you can't put it up against the same sort of hype as Star Wars or Star Trek or something like that. But again, it's not to say that with how much the studios that own those IPs have destroyed those IPs, what's to say you couldn't have grown a bigger audience? It's a mistake, but it's also I'm okay with it. I am. I'm okay with it I'm okay with it being cancelled. I'm sorry. I know that Nina would hate hearing me say that. And probably like all the all the people that wanted to do it, all the creators that were involved with it, all the people putting in their time and effort. even if you're involved in it, the studio meddling that could take place. I know. I haven't even said it to them. I'm actually going to after we finish the stream, I'm actually just going to DM them and just say, the more I think about it, the more I think that this is a good thing. I don't know whether or not, and I'm going to explain this whole thing. Maybe I'll just tell them to watch this part of the stream. Maybe I'll just tell them to watch this part of the stream. All right, we've got, let's see. I'm so unorganized with my tabs. Just give me 1 second here, guys. Here, look, I'll give you this. Oh, I saw this.
Oh, Mozza, read that.
So Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozza.
You pushed so far.
That's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I gotta pee. Oh my god.
Whoa. Okay, I'm ready. I nearly got it done in time. Okay. So, The Mandalorian and Grogu, ladies and gentlemen, I think by now it's safe to say that Disney Star Wars is dead. I've really got to try and pay attention to that now. Not just saying Star Wars is dead, but Disney Star Wars is dead. Now, I know that we're going into now the third weekend, and it's going to be interesting again to see what happens with this movie. I talked about it on my video, and we still got some tabs there that show this as well. But you've got people that are going and seeing this thing multiple times. You've even got Disney Shills out there taking their grandma and their mum, and who probably don't even give a fuck about Star Wars, just to get the box office numbers up. If I now go a second time and I take my mum with me, that's an extra ticket. If I go a third time and take my grandma with me, that's me seeing it 3 times, and that's another extra ticket. Think about that for a second. I would love to know how many people have actually seen this movie with their eyes. How many pairs of eyes have seen this movie? Because the only thing, I reckon there's a good possibility that $50 million of the current $250 million worldwide box office is like people that have gone and seen it more than once. At least 50 million of it. So obviously after the second weekend, we talked about it in my video, after this second weekend, it had a 70% drop. Only earning $24.5 million at the domestic box office. You know what's really funny is the same thing happened while I was recording my video and I had to correct myself and edit it out. Domestic box office. But again, it was beaten by 2 YouTubers, 2 horror movies with a budget of, I believe, under $11 million for those 2 movies. And this has a budget of what, 167 million of its reported budget or whatever. Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, the narrative of this thing not making money. Yeah, I don't think it is making money at this point in time, and I don't think it will make any money. It certainly won't make its money back. But like, even if, let's say this thing had a small enough budget that even at this point in time, at its current, let's take a look, $251.5 million box office worldwide, let's say it had made money. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's still a failure. At $500 million, sorry, this is still a failure. This is a Star Wars movie, guys. Yeah, Derek Lopez, how are you? This is still a Star Wars movie. Now, yeah, it's not a part of the Skywalker saga. It's not a part of the episodic movies that we have. But Rogue One, Solo's not a good example. People were pissed. People boycotted. And it's a shit movie as well anyway. Just overall, this fucking movie, it's a Star Wars movie and it's a shit fucking movie just in general. You take all the Star Wars out, it's just a shit movie. But yeah, like I said, I reckon at least fucking $50 million of that is the Shills going back and rewatching it over and over and over again. You reckon it's 300 million to break even? I don't know if it's that low to break even. I still think it's somewhere around the $400 to $500 million that it needs to make to break even. I just think about how much marketing, man. That they threw everything at this. All the appearances for fucking Pedro Pascal, how much do you reckon they cost when he doesn't want to be there? How much do you think they had to pay fucking Sigourney Weaver to be a fucking airhead moron in the movie? And then get her, prance her out on the red carpets everywhere. Interviews with Jon Favreau playing cover for her because she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about when it comes to Star Wars. How much do you reckon all of that shit cost? Closer to 600 million to break even? It's got to be somewhere between the 400 to 600 million mark. It has to be. It has to be. And I think that this thing is only going to make anywhere between 350 and 400 million. But even saying that, it's crazy how much this thing is crawling. It's crazy. I want to do something, actually. Give me 1 second here, guys. Because I did my video for the second weekend box office results on Tuesday. On Tuesday. We are now Thursday, right? Well, for me it was Tuesday night. We're now approaching Thursday night. So literally 48 hours. This is what it's done in 48 hours. In my video, I talked about it 48 hours ago. It was at 246 million. 251 million in 48 hours. It's made $5 million. And again, going into its third weekend, the people that have wanted to go and see this, I even think there might be a couple of normies that haven't seen it still that might want to go and see it. Great news. The Grogu I'm trying to say it the way you spelled it. Is beaten by Obsession and Backrooms. Let's freaking go. And again, it was, Gary put out that tweet saying, I can't deny, basically, he's saying, I can't deny that I'm happy about this. And I'm in exactly the same boat. I used to think, and I used to want Disney to do good Star Wars. I wanted them to turn the corner. I wanted them to correct course. I wanted good Star Wars, no matter what it took. But it's not happening. And you've blamed us for all the shit that you've done. And now I'm happy that you're failing because it's shit and it's not Star Wars. But again, that's crazy. 48 hours, it's only made basically $5 million. We can get rid of this tab now. So it literally is crawling. It's crawling. In its second week, coming up to its third weekend. Wow. For a Star Wars movie. Valiant Renegade did a video on the budget, and 165 million was only the budget that qualified for the tax break. That's interesting. Well, we never really believe them when they originally come out and say what the budget is, do we? Because they've been proven to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. So why would we ever believe that it was just 165 million? That makes things even worse, though, for them if that's the case. But we can only go off, take them on their word. 165 million. You definitely haven't broken even at 250 million. I don't think you're breaking even at 300 million. Because okay, let's be kind, and I think this is being kind on the marketing budget. $100 million on marketing. I remember 10 million was just one fucking Super Bowl ad. Anyway, let's say it's 100 million on marketing. 265 million. They get what, 50% of the box office? So right now they're only seeing $125 million out of that. Oh man, the narrative of fucking merch. It'll make its money back in merch. No, I don't think it will. I think this is old because we just passed what the box office is. So that was after that second weekend, it did cross the 240. That's the thing though, too. It's pretty crazy to think that, right now we're getting into sort of later on in the day on Thursday, for me here in Australia anyway. And on Monday, for me, that's what the figure was, 240. $11 million over the course of this week. What else we got? Oh, I brought this up on my video. So, again, this is their core audience. This is the people that they're actually going after when it comes to their new audience. And this is the new audience that they're constantly talking about. This person, Nova Bobber. I know everybody makes fun of me of how I say Bobber because I say Bobber. Sometimes I say Bulba and sometimes I say Bulba. Anyway, 21, she, her, violators will be towed. Never call me dude, bro, man. I am a woman. Now, in my video, I said a 1.5 stars out of 10. It's obviously 1.5 out of 5. My mistake. But goes on to say, my dad would say, this is a fun way to turn your brain off and enjoy a movie. But I'm not my father. I'm my own woman. This movie was barely acceptable as an extra long episode of the show. This is just nothing. Yeah, dude, bro, man, where is it? Where is it, Mob? But again, this is their target audience. This is who they go. This is who Star Wars is targeted to now. This person was probably so excited for Mandalorian and Grogu, probably loved the Acolyte, probably thought Obi-Wan Kenobi in the rematch was the best fucking lightsaber fight we've ever seen. Thought that Ahsoka, I don't know, is just amazing. But you're now even losing them, which isn't going to work out good for you. I mean, let's be real. It's really not going to work out good for you. But, think about all the fans that you've pushed away, all of us, all the real Star Wars fans that you've pushed out and said, no, this isn't for you anymore. And we're like, okay, we'll just continue with our expanded universe. We'll keep Star Wars alive and talk about the good parts of Star Wars that don't have any attachment to any of your Disney slop and crap. And you just do your own thing. And you're doing your own thing and you're losing your own audience. Well done. Just like you retcon your own fucking canon from all the books or comics or whatever it is that you put out there. In the High Republic, you had a lightsaber that stopped in a tree. so the fucking guy could just hang there. Like Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Let's be real. Let's be real. And look, to be completely honest with you, like I said, it wasn't going to be a long stream today because obviously had the stream earlier with Bane of the Shills. But these next ones are kind of like they could all be nominations for Seal of the Week. I think did this one come up last week? I think it did. I don't know why I brought it up again. I don't need to actually bring that up again. We did talk about that last week. I've seen, this is Mandoverse updates, Jesus. I've seen The Mandalorian and Grogu for the second time in IMAX today. And I'm telling you, IMAX is the way to go. Everything is bigger and the sound is incredible. The watch of the film, the way that that's written really does fuck with my head though. The watch of the film is also so great as well. Sorry. It literally gets better every time I watch it. You know what? We're going to do something. We're going to play a bit of process of elimination here. But before we do, we're going to do it. We're going to do the intro.
I'm the Jedi.
That's right, the seal clapping emojis. All right, let's bring him up. So, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we only really need to get rid of 1, and then we'll put the votes in. So, right now, this is a process of elimination. I'll give you the numbers at the end, and then you've just got to give me a number of which one we're getting rid of. And then the remaining 4 will go in a poll, and then you can pick. So this is the first one, which we already read through, Mandoverse updates. This was another one. Now, I played this in my video as well, and we'll watch this really quickly. Mandalorian and Grogu box office takes a dive in its second week. Let's take a listen.
Is the Mando about to drop to success or failure? Hi, I'm Joel Davis of Culture Slate, here to tell you that the Mandalorian Grogu is about to experience a 69% drop in its second weekend. However, it's important to remember that the Mandalorian and Grogu has made more or less its budget back, making 167 internationally, and
I talked about that in my video. It's a lie.
Has overperformed in the initial opening weekend. Also, the Mandalorian and Grogu did not necessarily have to make its budget back.
So it made its budget back, but it didn't really need to make its budget back, which means that he knows that it hasn't made its budget back because people will come in. But now he's throwing the justification out there before the argument's been made, basically, that it didn't need to make its budget back because it's going to get its money back from the merchant.
Make profit via the box office, with both Disney Plus subscriptions as well as merchandising units being sold. It's possible that
they're not getting any new subscriptions by having this. And in fact, I think Disney would probably be losing subs at this point in time.
More in the long term. So just keep that in mind when reading this box office and what it means for the future of Star Wars films. All right, that's it. Click the link tree in the description.
All right, we don't have to listen to any more of that. So that's 2. Everyone complaining is full of shit. I loved Mandalorian and Grogu. This is basically what I want out of my Star Wars at this point. Fun. This was a blast, and I was smiling the entire time. So there's that one. Vader's Order. I really want to keep this one in here, guys, but it's your call. The chat is king. The puppetry in The Mandalorian and Grogu seriously brings so much magic to the movie. Yeah, no. Vader's Order really pissed me off last week. Really badly. And then we had J.I. Acob. Now, I've just got J.I. Acob's entire fucking Twitter feed because you could just scroll through right now and the shilling and the coping is just incredible. There was this dude tweets a lot. There was a couple of tweets, which I don't know if I'm actually going to find them right now, of him saying, went with my grandma, went with my mom to go and see these movies multiple times. I'd like to just find one of those, but fuck. Did I already scroll past it? I've seen, this'll do. I've seen The Mandalorian and Grogu 5 times, and I can confidently say that one of my favorite things about it is how it has managed to captivate me on every watch. It's saying nothing about it, though. It's saying absolutely nothing about it. It's just captivated him. It's made me forget all of my real life worries. Yeah, okay. The escapist entertainment. I don't think so, because a lot of your real life worries come from Star Wars. For the whole 2 hours and 12 minutes every time. That's ultimately what cinema is all about. And I'm beyond thankful for that experience every watch. That'll do. So J.I. Acob possibly gets a nominee, and that's it. So you've got to make a decision now, guys. Who gets eliminated? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Which number do you pick? And then we'll redo the numbers and fucking put the poll in the chat. I'm not going to go into the Liam stuff tonight. I want to talk to Anna, because she was going to stream. She would normally stream today, and I don't know whether or not she didn't because she's not well, or whether or not she didn't because she doesn't really want to get into this right now, because apparently he wants to sue her or something. So maybe she's just, I don't know. And I don't want to make anything worse in that sense. We got a 4. Come on, guys. Is anybody there? We got another 4. Which one was 4? 1, 2, 3. You're getting rid of Vader's Order. I understand. It probably is honestly the weakest one. I just hate this guy. I just hate him. I think it's going to win. All right. All right, chat. You win. You're king. Well, Christ is king, but you're king of the chat. You win. Look at all the 4s. They're all 4s. Nobody picked anything else. All right. Vader's Order. Goodbye. All right. So we've just rearranged the numbers really quickly. So obviously still 1, still 2, still 3. But now Jacob is number 4. All right. Let's put the poll in the chat. Let's put the poll in the chat. What? I keep clicking the wrong fucking thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the poll is up. And I'm going to put that on live chat. And I'm going to give you guys some memberships. There you are. Hopefully there are some people here, like there was last night, in the chat that actually get a membership. Awesome. All right, look at that. First super chat. Raging Rhino gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Fucking Vader's order. Or orders. Oh, it had an awful take. Absolutely. Beyond a joke. Beyond a joke. All right, so yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 are your 4 nominees of this week. Let me just, I'm getting rid of these Liam tabs. We probably end up talking about Liam actually on Flashcast this weekend because obviously there's some Flash allegations there too. Hopefully Anna can make it. We'll see. All right, let's watch one of Grizzy's videos, shall we? That's what we're going to do while we're waiting. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have a laugh at some of the shills. So, guys, if you're not subscribed to Grizzy, what are you doing? Mr. Grizzy, this is Mr. Grizzy 2. So, well, we got 14 minutes. Disney shill claims Mandalorian and Grogu is a success due to the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Let's go. Cut from his streams as opposed to his videos.
So, guy who loves fake Star Wars, and he's talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu and how it is a massive success because it has an 88 on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm going to completely
when is this from, actually? There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Completely dismantle. That was the word I was looking for. We're going to completely
No, actually, sorry, Grizzy. If you're not subscribed to Grizzy 2, don't get me wrong. This is probably a really good clip. But that's not what I was actually hoping for. I thought it was something else. We are still going to watch a Grizzy video, but we're going to watch an actual Grizzy video, not a clip from his live stream. All right, let's pick one. Let's pick one. Yeah, he thought it would make $2 billion. Well, like there was another guy out there that was saying that he thought it would make $2 billion, but he was saying, it'll at least make $1 billion, if not 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, and he got all the way up to the $2 billion mark. So yes, they're stupid. They're stupid. Oh, you're kidding me. Is it really? Oh my God. Guys, you need a vote. Your nominees are... Let's get rid of these tabs. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. So, number 1 is Mandoverse updates. Number 2 is this guy. What did he say? Where did he say he's from?
Is the Mando about to drop to success or failure? Hi, I'm Joel Davis of Culture Slate.
Culture Slate. Culture Slate, I guess. Or Star Wars Culture. The Kaiju Kingdom. It's number 3, sorry, and number 4 is J.I. Acob. Get your votes in. All right, let's watch. Let's watch. Which one are we going to go for? That was 6 days ago. That's Cope. I haven't watched that one. See, I start watching them and then I'm like, oh, hang on a second. I'm not watching. Well, we watched that video, so we're not watching that one. I can't stand Vader's orders, man. Like, he's a fucking ugh. So, Disney Star Wars supporters refuse to admit the Mandalorian. We might watch that one, actually. Yep. His newest video. Oh, my Lord.
What a fucking bitch, am I right?
All right, so after just 2 weeks, it has already become official now that The Mandalorian and Grogu is the worst performing Star Wars film in the Disney era. Disney Lucasfilm is kicking off their return to theaters with a big old fat box office bomb. And the Disney Star Wars supporters, NPC fans, and shills, they are all over the place in terms of coping and making excuses.
So yes, it's a bit of a hit, but I don't think it's like, oh my God, batten down the hatches, Chicken Little, the world is ending.
I think word of mouth is probably
But
going to
that
do
didn't make any sense.
good.
He says it's a bit of a hit, but I don't think the world is ending. If it's a bit of a hit, then why are you even then saying, oh, I got to hear that again.
Are all over the place in terms of coping and making excuses.
So yes, it's a bit of a hit, but I don't think it's like, oh my God, batten down the hatches, Chicken Little, the world is ending.
I think word of mouth is probably going to do the movie good.
Yeah.
Because it's
Really?
got an A- cinema score, an 80, high 80s on Rotten Tomatoes for fan score.
88, I think.
I mentioned this, I think, in my first video. The only reason why these things end up getting like the 88% and into the 90% ranges, despite the fact that they're probably more deserving of like 12%, is because you've got the shills and they're the only ones that really care enough to actually go and put an actual review up. Now, it's gotten to the point where people just don't give a shit anymore because they don't trust them as well. The people don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. Even when it's like positive, I still don't really trust what it's like. It's the only thing to go off of, or one of the only ones to go off of, but I still don't necessarily trust it.
Nobody cares. Toy Story 5 doesn't
Absolutely,
come out till
apathy.
mid-June, and honestly, could help boost the Mandalorian and Grogu's numbers a little bit, just a little bit.
I heard a rumor that you're an idiot. Any
What?
truth to that?
Yeah, that's not how box office
No.
competition works, especially when nobody gives a shit about one of
Toy
them.
Story 5
We
is
talked
going to
about this
help.
before. It does not have to make $1 billion to be successful. My prediction was $1 billion.
No, your prediction was that The Mandalorian and Grogu would easily make $1 billion. And
And
if it were
possibly
good,
creep
or
up
I guess
to $2
your
billion.
definition of good, it would
Correct.
make $2 billion.
This movie makes $1 billion easily. Like difficulty extreme easy. It'll make $1 billion alone just because Grogu's in it. I think it'll make $2 billion if it's a really good movie. It does not have to make $1 billion to be successful.
Yeah, I did start late though tonight, Justin. I usually start 2 hours earlier. I just had an appointment with Bane of the Shills to talk about Rise of Darth Vader book. So we did that first. Normally 2 hours earlier.
Prediction was $1 billion. We needed to make at least 450.
What happened?
It's not even going to
Did
make
balls
that.
drop off?
Then we'll be, quote unquote, in the black. If it can get up to 500, 600, that'll be fan-freaking-tastic.
This movie's going to struggle to make $350 million.
I
It
agree.
already lost last week to Obsession and Backrooms. Now it has even more competition upcoming
With
with
some bigger numbers, with some bigger names, I should say, with He-Man and Scary Movie.
Man and
Then you got
Scary
Toy
Movie,
Story 5
which means
coming.
at the end of the day that The Mandalorian and Grogu is a failure. But as you've seen, these people just can't admit it.
We're at $250 million. We got a long way to go until we get anywhere close to a profitable movie. You got to get to almost double what we're at right now. But needless to say, that's not impossible.
The cope is strong in this one.
We've never really been big on covering the box office. And also, it's just like, who cares?
Molly, dumbass, if you want more Disney Star Wars at the movie theaters, they're going to have to not bomb at the box.
And the thing is too, is like the coverage of the box office stuff, the only reason why like it's so prevalent in regards to Star Wars, I guess, right now is because people are interested to see the destruction of Star Wars. They're actually like almost cheering for it at the moment. Because Disney get what they fucking deserve.
Box office.
I'm way more interested in just how the movie made me feel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Star Wars, don't let box office numbers bog you.
If you're a fan of this, I've said it before. What I say, my criticisms of it, should not affect your enjoyment of it unless what you hear come out of my mouth actually makes sense to you and affects then the way that you perceive what you've seen. That's the only way that what I can say destroys your enjoyment of it. Is if you actually have some sort of agreement in the criticism, right? Because if you could completely disregard it and find actual ways to talk it down, have that discussion or whatever, you should be able to fight back with why you think that that's not right or whatever the case may be, but you can't. All you can say is that you're sexist or you're racist or you're misogynistic or whatever the buzzword is at the time, and say that you just don't understand. You just don't understand, stupid. Good. I'm glad I don't understand, stupid.
Down and like make you sad about a film if you liked it.
Right.
Interesting, isn't it? How.
But yeah, that's the other thing too, is the box office result shouldn't affect your enjoyment of the movie as well, Molly. You're fucking such a retard in what you just said.
Whenever the box office is bad or when viewership on a series is low, the Disney Star Wars shills immediately dismiss it. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
And also, it's just like, who cares?
But if this movie were a financial success, let's say that by some miracle it made $750 million, then all of a sudden the box office would be the biggest and most important news amongst the Disney Star Wars supporters.
And I'm really curious to know after this coming weekend what those numbers look like, because some people go on vacation during Memorial Day weekend and they're not home to go to the theater. So I think there'll be another significant jump after this weekend.
You see that? That's a stupid bitch.
I look at it as they took a chance, wasn't the smartest move. They made some money.
They made
some money.
They made some money.
They lost some
Overall,
money.
the fans' reaction has been positive for the people who saw it.
I saw it.
You go forward and you deal with it and you move and you go on focusing on Starfighter. But
now this right here seems to be the narrative that most Disney Star Wars supporters seem to be going with, which is the claim that The Mandalorian and Grogu is not an indication of where Disney Star Wars is amongst the fandom. Star Wars Starfighter, which is releasing next year, that will be the true test.
Do I think that the brand of Star Wars is dead because of this? No. People will say it is, but it's not. I stand by the fact that Starfighter is still the one that you're going to have to judge where Star Wars is with the public.
They're only saying that because of this guy, because of Ryan Gosling. I'm telling you now, I said this with the result of the first weekend of Mandalorian and Grogu, right? It's such a bad movie on the premise of just being a movie, not even just Star Wars movie. I'm just talking about a bad movie. It's boring. It's slow. You'll fall asleep, especially if you're not a Star Wars fan. It is just slow and boring and just crap. Now, I don't know whether or not some of those normies out there may or may not have watched some of the Disney Plus shows, whether or not they liked or disliked them or whatever the case may be. But you look at the result of this movie and you honestly think that something that had at least 3 seasons of build-up and 2 episodes from the Book of Boba Fett, had sort of a fan base behind it, had a backing, is going to be beaten by a movie which is inside the galaxy that has no build-up towards it, that has nothing. It's just being built off its own premise. And you think the normies, after watching this movie and wasting, let's say, $100 to take the family or $150 to take the family to the theater to see this pile of crap, they're going to waste another $150 in 12 months' time to go and see fucking this movie? You're kidding. Okay, good. I'm glad that this is going to be a true indication because it's going to be smaller than fucking The Mandalorian and Grogu. Mark my words. Raging Rhino. The box office results for Star Wars Starfighter will be lower than The Mandalorian and Grogu. June 4th, 2026, 3:16 p.m. Melbourne Eastern Standard Time. Quote it.
Really hoping Starfighter pulls in some big numbers next year, because if it doesn't, we're in a real pickle with this franchise.
So tell me, exactly how full of shit are you?
If Starfighter fails, they're in a pickle.
Shut up,
Disney Star Wars isn't in a pickle now, you guys.
As you said, Starfighter, and we've said Starfighter is where you're going to see the real attention of the brand and where people are with brand. And if it's a good movie, if it makes $1 billion, then everyone who made all these videos are going to have to shut the fuck up. And that's the thing at the end of the day. I think a lot.
All right. Hello, Sir Loitalot. Man, I'm dyslexic and I'm retarded, so please bear with me. Let me go through and I'll show you. So each week we'll do Seal of the Week. Now, sometimes we'll get a full board with 4 nominees. Sometimes there'll only be one, and they just happen to win Seal of the Week. So you got 4 nominees for this week's Seal of the Week. You've got Mandoverse updates, basically saying to go see it in IMAX, and that he went and saw it for a second time. You've got Star Wars culture or culture slate, basically saying that this thing doesn't need to necessarily, it's made its money back at the box office, but it doesn't need to make its money back at the box office because this movie will make its money back with merch and Disney Plus subscriptions. And then you've got the Kaiju Kingdom, basically saying that everyone complaining is full of it and that they loved The Mandalorian and Grogu and smiled the whole time watching it. And then you've got J.I. Jacob, who is just one of the biggest Disney seals there is. I just picked one of his tweets because it's all fucking Star Wars and Disney Star Wars, and basically just talks about how he's been to see it 5 times, and I think he's been to see it even more than that. And he goes and sees it with his mum and his grandma and another one of his relatives, but doesn't happen to go see it with his fake wife at all, ever. So they're the 4 nominees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your votes in. Thank you for being here. Let's go back to this.
A lot of people are doing this for attention.
Starfighter, $1 billion. Even Harloff is like, bro, I don't know about that.
But the reality is Star Wars.
I didn't even see
even
that.
Harloff.
I think a lot of people are doing this. Made all these videos are going to have to shut the fuck up. And that's the thing at the end of the day. I think a lot of people are doing this for attention.
Starfighter, $1 billion. Even Harloff is like, bro, I don't know about that.
But the reality is Star Wars is just fine. People are just waiting for a good movie.
Okay, so this little compilation we just did, this Star Wars Starfighter is the true test.
Yep.
All this is just Disney Star Wars supporters kicking the can down the road.
Yep.
And I predict that a year from now, when Star Wars Starfighter
They'll be
also
kicking the can down
disappoints
the
at
road
box
more.
office and potentially bombs as well, they're going to kick the can
Yep.
down the road again.
Yep.
And it'll be the same narrative all over again, only this time Star Wars Starfighter isn't actually the true test. The Simon Kinberg trilogy, which is rumored to be episodes 10, 11, and 12, that will be the test. That will be the true indicator as to the status of Disney Star Wars in the eyes of the fandom, because they're going back to what works. They're going back to what they've made money in the past doing, which is the Skywalker saga. And if that fails, only if that fails, then Disney Star Wars is in a pickle. Mark my words, that'll be the narrative.
But I also think this is an unfair expectation, isn't it? A franchise is not going to knock it out of the park every time. Are we in this place where fans have become so entitled
Oh, so now it's also the fans' fault. It's the fans'
Good day,
fault
Melissa, I
because
see
their
you.
expectations for The Mandalorian and Grogu were just too high.
Fans have become so entitled, so full of themselves that they're like, everything has to be fucking grade A plus or it all sucks.
No, I look, The Mandalorian and Grogu didn't need to be grade A plus fucking content. It needed to be fucking coherent, though. It needed to be cohesive. It needed to be fucking a story. And there needed to be a plot. There needed to be some character development. There needed to be something. There was none of that. And it was like all the performances, including the voice acting, from whether it be fucking Rota the Hutt or fucking even from Pedro Pascal himself, it was lame. And even the actors that were there in fucking person, like your Sigourney Weaver, phoned in performance, it was garbage. From beginning to end, this entire fucking movie is crap.
I think, honestly, with regards to Disney Star Wars, that a lot of people would be satisfied with like a C- or something, but Disney can't even pull that off.
People who are using this as, like, as you said, the death of Star Wars, or just doing that.
Star Wars, we're not using this as the death of Star Wars. The death of Star Wars happened a long time ago. It's just the beating of, it's kicking the can down the road. It's the beating of the dead horse.
Because they want the attention or the likes or the clicks or whatever, because it's not real.
Oh, it's real.
I bet you if you log out of your YouTube, so like you get away from your personalized algorithm and you search Star Wars, like most likely the top 10 to 20, if not more, things that pop up will be AI or something about how Star Wars sucks now and it's terrible and you should never watch it again and that it's dead. Because that's what YouTube promotes. They promote things that make people angry.
Yeah, I would like to just push back against this again, because if Star Wars was in a really, really good place, Star Wars, like, there would be positive Star Wars videos, there'd be positive Star Wars streams, there'd be positivity around it, and it would still be getting the audience. You'd still, like, the bullshit. It's bullshit. It's how people fucking feel when they see these things, when they get accused of being the reason why Star Wars sucks right now. All of that shit. It's ridiculous.
Drives people to go and comment or share it or whatever.
No, Molly, YouTube pushes content that a majority of people agree with. YouTube pushes content that a majority of people want to watch. People don't want to watch a couple of Disney shills completely sell out for and praise an objectively bad movie and then come on YouTube and lie to them about it. And more fans are beginning to pick up on this. They're picking up on who the shills are. They're picking up on the fake hype campaigns being organized by Disney. And they're all coming out and saying no. And they are rejecting Disney Star Wars. And they rejected The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yep.
All right, everyone. That's all
That's all he's got for us today. That was a good video, Grizzy. Again, well done, sir. Very well done, sir. All right, let's wrap up Seal of the Week. And we'll get the fuck out of here for today. Like I said, a little bit shorter today. I got to get some food in me. I'm hungry. And yeah. Are we still got a tie going on here, or what's going on with this poll? All right, it's shifted around. We got a few more votes in, which is fantastic. Look at that. Oh, there is a bit of a tie going on there. Let's see if we can get a couple of votes in at the tail end here just to undo the deadlock. So number one was Mandoverse updates. Oh, hang on. I'm not even sharing my screen. Not even sharing my fucking screen. Okay. So we got Mandoverse updates. Basically saying, seen it for the second time in IMAX. Go and see it in IMAX because it's bigger and better and the sound is great. And then he loves it. Oh, number two was Culture Slate, basically saying that it needs merch. And even though it's made its box office back, it's still, it doesn't need to make its box office back because it's of the merch and the subscriptions. Kaiju Kingdom, basically just saying how much they loved it and it was a lot of fun. And then you got J.I. Jacob. J.I. Acob. Lurkers, can you get a vote in there? Gotta undo the deadlock. Hey, oh, we got a vote. Oh, we got another vote. It made it worse. It made it worse. We went from a 2-person tie to a 3-person tie. No. Oh no. Oh fuck. We'll give you a fart break.
Oh, Mozza, read that.
So Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozza.
He pushed so far.
That's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I gotta pee. Oh my god.
So good. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to end it there. We're going to go from a 2-way tie to a 3-way tie. Well, they all really fucking deserve it, don't they? They all really fucking deserve to be fucking Seals of the Week. The farce is strong with you, Rhino. Fucking, oh well, it is what it is. We do have to end the poll at some point. All right, we're going to end it. 3, 2, 1. Not that I wanted it to end up this way, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So let me go back to this screen. All right. So the loser who doesn't actually get even a spot is fucking Jacob. Jacob, you can't catch a break. You're one of the biggest Disney seals there are. I want the seal clapping emojis in the chat just for Jacob because he is such a seal. Because despite the fact that he didn't win, he still deserves it. He still does deserve it, just like these other three. So with 26% of the vote each, these three take the top spot and all three win Seal of the Week. I think it's fair to say that we can even probably put Jacob up in there because he's still got 22%. And we got 35 votes in the poll. We will still keep it to just these three. So congratulations to these three. Mandoverse updates, Star Wars culture, and the Kaiju Kingdom. Well done. You are this week's Seal of the Week. I'm going to play the prop.
I'm the Jedi.
It's actually so weird because, like, okay, in that when I bring it up, those are seals, and then he's got the claps. Now you've got little boxes in that. I've got 3 or 4 like lines going across on my screen here. I had to go to the actual stream just to see what those were. Like they're all that's seals. Why aren't those emojis showing up? But the like clapping emojis show up. Flashcast is going to be good this weekend. I think there's going to be a fair bit to talk about. We could probably, I don't know 100%, but we'll probably end up talking about this Liam Gray stuff. Hence why I'm not going to talk about it right now. I still need to get a bit up to date with all of that too. But yes, Flashcast this weekend. You can catch me there. It's going to be awesome over on Yellow Flash 2's channel. Next week, Casual Rage will be back in its normal time slot, 2 hours earlier than we normally start, 12 midday my time. And keep your eye out for some gaming streams. We'll be playing some Lego Batman, which has been really enjoyable. And also, I'm doing some more videos. So hopefully this coming week, I'll do another video for you guys and we can sort of at least maintain and get into a bit of a schedule for it, you know, bit of a routine. And we can build on that, hopefully, which will be good. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Is there anyone streaming right now that we can raid? I wouldn't think so. I dare say it'd be pretty late. Oh no, Phil's streaming. It came in and that's all I heard. Did you guys hear that? I just want the link. That was funny. I opened it up and he sounded the most Asian I think he's ever sounded. Let me just set this up. Sorry, guys. Real quick. Save. Done. All right. Awesome. Again, thank you everyone for being here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Smash the like button. Hit the bell for notifications. Catch me on Flashcast on the weekend. Catch you next week for another Casual Rage, and we'll see you in the video. Yeah. Fuck you, Disney Star Wars. And have a good rest of your week. And have a good weekend. We'll see you in it. Later, guys. What am I going to play? Bye.
Put a chicken in it and make it name it gay!
I like to get into a vibe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we'll get into it. We'll discuss it all. You know, the truth is, it sort of is what it is. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt! A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bouncing to a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking it very cautiously.
You... Go away!
Sounds too near a supermarket?